Ham Shri Guru Shri Juta Pada Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sagra Jatam Sagana Raghunathan Tam Sajivam Sadhaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanitamscha Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Nami Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunnavadi Paschata Deshatarine Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Nami Nama Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambara Sambodhe Padambujayate Namo Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidanandanamine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanugavaraya Gaura Virvava Bhumestam Nideshta Sajjana Priyo Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Sri Jagannathaya Te Namo Vancha Kalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhubhaya Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. That's good. This is a very comfortable actually position.
Yeah, it is. It's nice. Better than stuff.
Yeah. The reason Vidyananda Prabhu and Mother Harinam suggested we should do it inside, even though it's little space, because a lot of people, a lot of devotees, they hear online and they won't be able to hear
take
it.
that mic out, though, the portable mic outside.
Oh, good.
To change.
You mean in the over there?
Maybe just right there.
Oh, this is okay for now.
This is good.
But you can probably twist the chair like, you know, all these chairs can be like twisted little bit. So. So, we are going to refresh because we had a little gap of 4 weeks of Lord Nityananda Prabhu's appearance day. Then we have a Shivaratri, then we had a Advaita Acharya's appearance day. So we missed few weeks, 4 or 5 weeks. And sit down, Bhadrabu. So because we missed, then you can't go there. Because the floor is sealed.
Put clear coat on it.
That's him.
Yeah.
So, we are going to refresh 5 chapters in a very brief, 10 minutes each chapter, and then we're going to start the chapter 6.
Someone just texted me that the sound is not on.
Sound is on.
I guess that whoever it is watching online is
It's on.
It's on. And Vidyananda Prabhu, if you are hearing, you're going to fix the sound. Somebody texting that they're not hearing it. Vidyananda Prabhu is always merciful, he's going to take care of it.
He left.
Oh,
He fixes for
that's it. You're not supposed to know this. Okay. So, this is a summary of Daksha Jagna, more or less. First chapter explains the dynasty, genealogical family dynasty of Swayambhuva Manu and Satarupa, 5 children, Uttanapada, Priyavrata and Akuti, Prasuti, Devahati, they are. So first chapter we are going to discuss briefly by Abhay Prabhu, and then Daksha insult Sati. This is chapter 6, second. Then third comes the Lord Shiva gave warning to his wife Sati not to go. But it appears that she left in spite of getting some warning. And then chapter 4 explains that the Maya Devi Sati, who went to the Daksha Jagna, was not welcomed, and then you can come inside, and was not welcomed in the Daksha Jagna. Then he gave up his life. She gave up her life. And that made a huge, tumultuous, bad incident that Narad Muni reported to Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva immediately created a horrible, scary form called Virabhadra from his hair. And how he acted, this will be chapter 5. Who is doing chapter 5? Damodar. You should be here. And then chapter 6 we are going to start. So there is a one common thread in all this chapter. One thing is very essential for us. It is that the false ego between I, Pran Govinda Das, and Radha Krishna, why I cannot see directly to them, I cannot serve them directly? Because so many impediments, karma idea, jnana idea. Karma idea, jnana idea means separate existence. I exist without God. People think like this. So this is the false ego. The false ego is in between I, the soul Pran Govinda Das, and Radha Krishna's service. And in between there is another Pran Govinda Das claiming he is the real Pran Govinda Das. And that false ego is originating from Lord Shiva. And he is exhibiting in every chapter, we see, that how the false ego actually created the whole havoc incident, one after another. And finally at the end, it will be straightened. This is what the summary we hear from Bhagavatam. So whole understanding of this chapter, we should try to, the best way to get rid of false ego is only one way, not two or three. Accepting pure Guru and surrender to Bhagavan and serve. The proportion of our surrender, that much false ego is disappearing. False ego means, what is false ego? False ego is a ego which claims separate and independent existence from God. This has a reality also in illusion world, Maya's world. And that separate existence, ego, ties the soul with the dead matter. Then karma begins. Otherwise there is no karma. Soul cannot do any karma. Soul cannot have this jnana idea. So that has to be focused. Alright, so chapter 1, Abhay Prabhu, you are going to start. Summary. You want to use that? That's okay. See if it works.
Very well. So chapter 1, like Prabhu was saying, I'll be brief because it's already 7:40, discusses the lineage of Swayambhuva Manu. So Prabhu mentioned many times that why Parikshit Maharaj, having 7 days to live, is interested in hearing about Swayambhuva Manu's family tree, basically. So
who is about to die.
Yeah, 7 days left to live. He is just about to die, but he is wondering about this family tree of Swayambhuva Manu. So it's very technical. This person had this many daughters. These daughters were married to that person who was the son of this person, like that. It may seem unnecessary, but still Parikshit Maharaj wants to hear, even though he's about to die, literally very few days. So the reason is because in Swayambhuva Manu and his lineage causes the appearance of Bhagavan. So Parikshit Maharaj is interested to hear about these personalities because by them, by their activities, and in their family, Bhagavan appears, like Kapila Dev, Narayan Rishi. That Bhagavan appeared. So Parikshit Maharaj is very interested to hear because these personalities have caused the appearance of Sri Krishna in his different incarnations. So Swayambhuva Manu, he had 5 children, like Prabhu was saying. but particularly mentioned in this chapter. One daughter, Akuti, was married to Prajapati Ruchi, and they had five children. 2 sons they already had, but still.
Who?
Akuti and Ruchi. Prajapati Ruchi.
No.
Ruchi. They did Putreshti Yagya.
They don't. They have a 2 child. They did not have a children before. Just these 2. 1 boy, 1 girl. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So Yagya and Dakshi.
But you have to say what was the contract. It's called prenuptial agreement. Before the wedding, he is giving his daughter wedding, but he has a prenuptial agreement. You think prenuptial agreement between the husband and wife, but here is the case of father-in-law or father, you can say. It depends who you're talking. Swayambhuva Manu has a prenuptial agreement that I'll give you marriage to Ruchi on condition that your first son will be my son. It's not, you cannot claim as your son. It's a little tricky. Okay, go ahead.
So Prabhupada mentions in the purport that Swayambhuva Manu already has 2 sons. So why is, normally this Putreshti Yagya is done when father has no sons, only daughters, but he gives his daughter in marriage on the condition that their first son will be like his son. So Prabhupada raises the point, why is he doing it if he already has 2 sons? So then Prabhupada quotes Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, who explains that because Swayambhuva Manu could see that the Lord would appear as Yagya, then he was very eager to have the Lord as his son. So then he made this agreement with them. And they agreed. He was also very happy when twins were born. Yagya and Dakshin. Says they were born together, same time. Because then he would take one son and his daughter would not be sad because she also has another daughter to take care of. So he was happy like this. Also, it's described how Kardama and Devahuti previously in 3rd canto, their life and the birth of Kapiladev, the Shiksha of Kapiladev is described in very much detail. But also here it's mentioned how the daughter of Devahuti and Kardama Muni, Anasuya, married Atri Rishi. And Brahmaji instructed them to produce children. So before they produced children...
Now finish that they married, so who was Dakshin?
Dakshin was Lakshmi Devi, expansion of Lakshmi Devi.
So they got married.
And Yagya and Dakshin got married. They're Shakti and Shaktiman always together.
Yeah.
So Dakshin was immediately from her birth, because she is Lakshmi Devi, she was very much attracted to Yagya, always wanted to marry Yagya. So the Lord always appears with his Shakti, and the Shakti is always serving the Lord. This is also one point here. So Anasuya, the daughter of Devahuti and Kardama, married Atri Rishi, who Brahma instructed to produce children. So they performed penances in one very beautiful place, I don't remember the name. They went to one forest. But after the penances that Atri Rishi performed, he prayed that the Supreme Personality of Godhead would come as his child also. But when, at the maturity of his practice, of his penance, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva all appeared before him. In the verse it says, Atma Isha Brahma Sambhavan. All 3 appeared before him. So Prabhupada makes the point in the purport that why all 3 appeared before Atri Rishi. He's prayed for the Supreme Personality of Godhead to come as his son, but why all 3 are coming? So Prabhupada makes the point, very nice, that because although his conception was that I want the Lord as my son, but he was inspecific, he was unspecific in his request. In other words, the Sambandha Gyan was not fixed, not mature. Although he wanted the Lord as his son, he did not specify which Lord, which form of the Lord, like this. So Prabhupada says that this is is showing that there is some lacking. That although we may be performing sadhana, if our conception of who is our worshipful Lord is not fixed, then we may get a result that we weren't intending for. So, Srila Prabhupada very mercifully, immediately from the beginning of his preaching, he established who is our Ishtadev worshipful Lord very clearly. Radha Krishna together, and Mahaprabhu, who is Radha Bhava Dyuti Subalitam Naumi Krishna Swarupam. He is Krishna with the mood and complexion of Srimati Radharani. These are our two worshipful Lords, these forms. And by performing sadhana with that clear conception, then we can be confident that we'll actually attain like that. But if our sadhana is not fixed, then who is our worshipful Lord? And even more specific, many shlokas, but even that we chant every class, Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu, Dina Bandhu Jagatpate, Gopesha, Gopika Kanta, Radha Kanta Namaste. In this verse, the progression of Sambandha is there. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu is the ocean of mercy. Dina Bandhu, friend of the fallen. Jagatpate, the master of the universe. But even these are not so specific. Gopa Isha, the lord of the cowherds, more specific. Gopika Kanta, the beloved of the gopis, more specific. Radha Kanta Namostute. Finally, the highest conception of Lord Krishna is Radha Kanta. So this is our worshipful Lord, Sri Krishna, the beloved of Srimati Radharani. So with this specific sambandha, we perform sadhana, we can be sure that we will attain the right goal. Whereas Atri Rishi, because he was unspecific in his desire, then Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva all appeared before him because he did not particularly request a particular form of the Lord. So then towards the end it's described how a third daughter of Swayambhu Manu, Prasuti, married Prajapati Daksha, the son of Brahma. And from them there was 15 daughters. One daughter, Murti, gave birth to Naranarayan Rishi, who was also an incarnation avatar of Bhagavan. And also there it's described by Maitreya what is the lineage of all of these 15 daughters. But the last daughter, Sati, the youngest, he gives no description as to her lineage. So then Vidura asks, why is it that Sati had no children? So then Maitreya Rishi explains how before her maturity in her age, she gave up her body due to the curse of Daksha. So then this is the end of the first chapter, leading into the second chapter in this whole pastime of Daksha Yagya, which is originally from the question of why Sati had no children like this.
So everybody understood what was the main point in his description. Two things was very strong. One was, when we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. As per our goal, object of love should be one-pointed. Even we chant Nishinga prayers, we glorify Barahadev, Matsavata, they are all perfect. They are all Bhagavan. But our goal should be Sri Radha Krishna. Gajendra case, the same thing. Why took so long for Bhagavan to come? Prabhupada repeated, because he was not specific who he is calling. Different demigod was in the sky, or maybe he is calling me, but he is not calling. Then he going back, somebody else coming, going back. You have to be very specific which Bhagavan you are praying. So then question comes, how do you come to this conclusion? You have to come to Santa Bhakta. Santa Bhakta means Parabrahma Paramatma Gayana Pravin. You must know that everything is backing by Krishna. He is behind everything. He is that Supreme Brahman who has impersonal Brahman covered to the place called Mahat Brahman, and the Jiva Brahman comes. Everything is him. He is the origin. And then if you enter to this Brajadham realm, then you will see actually everything that Bhagavan is happy by the sweet loving service of Srimati Radhika. She is behind actually everything. Even though it appears like Krishna is behind everything. So that time, that form of Radha Krishna worship should be pointed out. Come over here, Prabhuji. So like this is very important. Another point is, otherwise it will take many lives because I don't know which Bhagavan I am worshipping. So similarly, another point is Naranaran Rishi, he mentioned, the Murti, the grandchild, Murti's child, great-grandchild, Naranaran Rishi. There is a little confusion may arise that Naranaran Rishi has come as a Arjuna and Krishna. Is it true?
Yeah.
No. Bhagavan, Krishna is origin. But there is some hidden explanation given. Just like Mahavishnu, same thing, Mahavishnu in Krishna book you will see, when Lord Krishna went with Arjuna to Mahavishnu's place. Then Mahavishnu says, I send you both to this world to finish some purpose. Same thing is Naranaran Rishi. And then after you finish, you come back. So it seems like Mahavishnu is the origin of Krishna.
That's the way it sounds, yeah.
That's the way it sounds. Very good. Thank you. So you read the Krishna book. That's the way it sounds. But we have to see also the Prabhupada's commentary, every Acharya commentary, that Ekala Ishwar Krishna Arsha Vritta. Even Balaram himself says that Supreme Lord is only one, is Krishna. Including me, Balaram, Narayan, everybody is servant to Krishna. So then why Mahavishnu says like this? Why Naranaran Rishi's case like this? Arjuna figured it out. Here we'll read it later, Naranaran Rishi in next canto, how it was discovered. So we'll mention there, but just for an example, like when Arjuna was coming back with the Brahmana's children, he was thinking about it. Am I bewildered? What's going on there? Oh. Horrible, nobody enters into the temple. You come this side, it is sealed. Okay. So, back to this, that Arjuna on the way back, he was thinking, and then he had this realization by the mercy of Lord Krishna who was sitting next to him in the chariot. That it is you who has made Mahavishnu to say this so that nobody will know the mystery of you. It is not that Mahavishnu has a power to steal some Brahmana's children from Dwarka. It is Krishna's kingdom, Dwarka. Mahavishnu has no power to even enter. But it appears like he was trying to see the Lord, so he stole it. But how is possible? Then he gave a logic. If it was the case, then the first child was born, immediately Krishna could have gone and rescued. Why waiting for 10th child? You understand the logic? So Arjuna himself is coming up with this by the mercy of Krishna, and then he's looking, Krishna is sitting next to him. He said, so it was not actually for that purpose. What is the purpose? Even the panwala, the sells pan, pan, betel leaf. Panwala in Dwarka can see you, and Mahavishnu cannot see. How is this? If panwala can see in Dwarka to the Lord, and Mahavishnu, who is also God, cannot see Krishna. Does it make sense? Now, there is a mystery. Arjuna says, it is not this way, it is you who control, who can see, who cannot see. So because you do not allow, Mahavishnu cannot come. But this scenario took place only for one purpose, just to establish. That's why Madhuram Samapayat, at the end of the Bhagavatam, all those stories are given. This is in 89th chapter, almost finishing, 90th chapter, the 10th canto. It's given because of this, that just to prove that Krishna has so much love for his devotee, Arjuna, that he created the whole episode just to establish that when Arjuna, being a first-class Kshatriya hero, but could not protect himself, did not know how to protect himself. Anybody has the audacity to insult him and insult his Gandiva? Anybody? Even his brother, Yudhishthir, was insulting one time. He wanted to kill Yudhishthir. And Krishna said, what are you doing? He said, he insulted my weapon, Gandiva. Nobody can insult his Gandiva. What did this Brahman do? This Brahmana insulted so much this Gandiva. Insulted so much left and right, but Arjuna could not do anything.
Because he was a Brahmin?
No, because only one reason. The Leela has to take place that Arjuna, to prove that he cannot even protect, doesn't matter how much power he has, he cannot even protect his own prestige, own Kshatriya mood, own status. Even at the end he was ready to jump in the fire. Just as he was jumping in the fire, Krishna stopped. But he did not know Krishna is the best friend. He is the real friend. He did not know at that time, Jogomaya's cover. This is before battlefield of Kurukshetra. So just to prove this, that Krishna said, by the way, I know where the children are, just ride on me and we'll go there. So he did. And at the end he found. So just to prove this, how merciful Krishna is, the whole episode took place. There was no other purpose. So we should remember, Narayana Rishi is not the source of Krishna Arjuna. Narayana Rishi is a partial expansion of Bhagavan Krishna. But just to make it Rasagata, in next canto we'll see how it is very sweet. Okay. The next, who is the second chapter?
This is just what happens, and maybe Prabhu could give some Siddhanta on this chapter. Vidura taking, this is Canto 4, Chapter 2. Vidura, taking instruction under Maitreya, inquired why Daksha, the father-in-law of Lord Shiva, was envious of Lord Shiva and neglected his daughter Sati despite his affection for her. Shiva, being the spiritual master of the entire world, self-satisfied, free from enmity, the best among the gentle and the best among the demigod, why was Daksha unfavorable, even hostile towards Lord Shiva? Maitreya responded to this question of Vidura by telling him the story of Daksha cursing Shiva. So the story goes like this. In former time, the leaders of the universal creation performed a great sacrifice in which all the great sages, philosophers, demigods, and fire gods assembled with their followers. When Daksha arrived, his bodily luster, as bright as the effulgent sun, caused everyone to get up out of their seats and honor him. However, Shiva did not stand from his seat. Daksha, seeing this, became very angry and insulted Lord Shiva in front of the great assembly and cursed Shiva that he would not have a share in the oblations of the sacrifice. Daksha then left the assembly. Nandishvara, one of Lord Shiva's principal associates, then retaliated with curses and insults towards Daksha and the assembled brahmanas who did not stand up to Daksha. Here Nandishvara cursed Daksha that since he lived on the bodily platform of life and was attached only to sex life, he would soon have the face of a goat. When all the hereditary brahmanas were thus cursed by Nandishvara, and the sage Brigu, as a reaction, condemned the followers of Lord Shiva with very strong Brahminical curses. After this cursing and counter-cursing, Lord Shiva became morose and left the assembly with his disciples without speaking a word.
You're done? Wow. That's very summarized, very good. Did you catch what he was summarizing, the second chapter? We should remember these curses, these are real, these are not history. Today in Alachua, in Gainesville, you can see these curses is existing. These curses are real and they exist. There's more space here. If you want, you can come in the front. So I'm going to repeat this. Why this took place, we should remember. Why? Because in the beginning of the creation, Lord Brahmaji, first child came 4, right? 4 Kumaras at the first. They opposed to help the father for the creation. So Brahmaji understood, but his purpose is not solved, so the anger came out. He tried to control, but some or other it came out. Anger comes from where? In between the 2 eyebrows. And then there is a blue reddish boy came out and he started screaming and crying, screaming, and then Brahmaji did not know how to control, so somehow they pacified him, trying to pacify him, and then the child says, what do you want, what do you want, tell me, I'll give you. And then what did the child say? I want wives, not one, 11 wives, and I want 11 palaces, kingdom like this. So then Brahmaji gave. This is how Lord Shiva, Rudra, 11 Rudra took place. Now, they did the procreation. See, this is where the clue that Daksha, why he always did not have a good intention towards Shiva. He is thinking, I am better than Shiva. In what sense? There is a defect in the understanding. That in the procreation, when Brahmaji went to see Shiva's dynasty, so first Brahmaji went there as a father and or grandfather, he went there and all these billions boys and girls, they are ready to devour each other. Brahmaji said, oh, this is dangerous. They don't want to even maintain anything. They want to like kill each other, eat each other up. So he immediately says, stop, all the Shiva dynasty, be careful. Don't become Shiva dynasty, you will be like stuck like this. So he mentioned them, you must go to Kailash and stay there and do meditation until I call you. So when I call you, then you come and perform your job. So they are still meditating. End of the Brahma's day, they come out. So Daksha knows this. He is thinking, he does not know. Shiva may be great. He also knows that actually this whole material world, Shiva is the king. So he knows Shiva is the king, but yet the Shiva could not help really procreation, he is not good. But who is expert in procreation? Daksha. One shot with his wife, 10,000 children. Wow. Now think about it. So he is very proud. Another shot, 1,000 children. Wow. So he is thinking, I am better than Shiva. But he did not see the spiritual quality, spiritual position of Shiva. Shiva is the king of this world. But he is thinking, I am better than him. He does not know how to procreate. I am better than him. This is a false conception. What he is creating? He is not creating soul. What is he creating? A body. It is the mercy of Shiva that he is creating the body. Who created the demigods? Who created the demigod? False ego coming from Shiva. Through the Saptagun, demigods are appeared. It is Lord Shiva himself. But Daksha, knowing this, still he is envious. Because he did not like. This is one point. Second point is, when you are rich in Karmi world, and you have a friend, he is also rich, and he is enjoying, you are enjoying, then you share and go to some vacation, enjoy more, good. But if somebody, your friend who is more rich, but he is talking about Hare Krishna philosophy, don't want to enjoy, then you feel like, oh, I don't like the Hare Krishna people because they don't allow me to enjoy. I want to enjoy sense gratification. They are talking about disciplining, chanting. Why? I want to enjoy. So it conflicts. Daksha found this problem in him. Lord Shiva is detached. He is so detached, Srila Prabhupada said, that he never even built a house. But his most beloved daughter, the youngest child is the most cute. The Maya Devi, this Maya Devi, the illusory energy, she comes in a form of a sati, a beautiful girl. She is so affectionate to the father Daksha, but she chose to marry this ash man who is smeared with ashes. No jewelry, no house, nothing. He is very disturbed. Why she is choosing him? And not only this, Brahmaji, who is the father of Daksha, father of all the humankind, he is even telling, oh, you give Shiva to her. So now he is like more, my youngest, most lovable daughter cannot enjoy life. They live in a crematory place. There is no nice arrangement, anything. It's like a very disturbing. So he does not like this mentality of Shiva. But Shiva's purity is so pure. It is so pure that you know why Shiva does not have any jewelry? Anybody knows why Shiva does not wear any jewelry? It's only ashes and little rudraksha. Because everything belongs to Krishna. Nothing belongs to him. He wants to display this, that look, you will turn into ashes, end of your life. So I am putting the ashes now, so you, just to remind you, that don't try to enjoy this world. The world belongs to Krishna, offering. But Daksha does not get it. So he is beginning from childhood, he is envious to Shiva. And this is the root cause. But now question will come, how he is becoming envious? Due to false ego. False ego. He takes shelter of false ego, which is coming from who? Also from Shiva. He is so unintelligent, he did not know even his pride he is showing, it's coming from his son-in-law. Now in this another point, very significant, that Lord Shiva is, all of us here, at least 20, 25, whatever the number here, how do you live? We are pleasure seeking by nature. We cannot stay without happiness. Whether it's coming, only difference is whether it's coming from Krishna consciousness or Maya consciousness. But you cannot stop not to be happy. So, this is the bottom point, that Lord Shiva, he is merged into Krishna consciousness. He is always into Samadhi. He is actually Brahmanandi. He is completely enjoying Brahmananda. Prabhupada gave a whole purport in chapter 6. That he is all the time he is tasting Brahmananda. He is merged into Krishna. Krishna conception. Manmana bhava madbhak. That he is always thinking of the Lord. Sattam vishuddham vasudeva shabditam jat hayate pramana pavrita. Sattecha tasmin bhagavan vasudeva. Sattecha tasmin. I am situated in that platform where Bhagavan Vasudeva is existing. So I am always thinking of him, paying obeisances. I am always merged into it. As a result, you try. Anybody hearing on the phone, microphone or anything, try. Think of Krishna 24 hours a day. You will be completely happy. This is the summary Shiva is exhibiting. So because he is so merged into Krishna consciousness, he is always happy. Those happiness is more higher than sex. What Daksha is specializing or promoting. He thinks sex enjoyment is highest. And Shiva is saying, no, this is not highest. This is highest. Brahmananda is higher than that. So this battle, here, Daksha cannot understand how is possible he is not respecting me, even in a relationship he is a father-in-law. He should be respecting me because I am older than him by the relationship. But Lord Shiva's position is, we should always remember, whenever we see pure devotee, if you see Srila Prabhupada, he did not pay respect to Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur. The reason I brought it, because some people raised that point. And he also heard it, and he was very upset about it. Actually, Sruta Kirti Prabhu even said that Srila Prabhupada stopped a car whenever he used to come by, and he paid obeisances on the floor. He did not go all the way inside the Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur temple, but he paid obeisances. And every time he would pass by, he would stop. But some people did not see, some devotee, so they judge Prabhupada. But this is Prabhupada's mercy, but we should be always aware that pure devotees are always paying obeisances to their Supreme Lord and the Master and Guru. Even if there is some etiquette we don't see, we should be very careful not to judge that. We will commit offense. Daksha was trying to put that point, but he did not understand. Even Sati, whoever does the 5th canto or 4th chapter, that Sati actually inquired Shiva. Okay, my father was there. Did you really not wanted to pay obeisances? Sounds like typical wife of this world, right? Did you really neglect? She's asking Shiva. Did you really wanted to neglect, not to respect my father? Shiva says, no, I was not trying to do that. Then what you were doing? This is a legitimate question. My father has come in the arena, you should have get up and receive him. Why didn't you do that? So then Lord Shiva very nicely explained, oh no, this is not my intention. See, I am always touching the lotus feet of the Lord and I'm paying obeisances, I'm so much merged, I'm not aware of this body. Daksha as a body, the Brigu as a body. I am merged in their relationship with their Lord. If they have a relationship with the Lord and they are paying obeisances, they would see me that I am there. But they are not seeing it. They are seeing it, you are man, you are a lady, you are this, you are that, you are my in-law. This was the biggest defect. So Sati actually inquired inquisitively and found Shiva had no fault, absolutely. Shiva was all the time at the lotus feet of the Lord. Whether Daksha coming or going, he was not aware. When he even came, everybody got up, but he was merged into paying obeisances to the Lord. It is not important. This is a conclusion. When you meet the Supreme Lord Krishna, you don't have to meet the whole, the rest of the Alachua people. Because Krishna is everybody. Within Krishna, the whole universe. Meeting Krishna means meeting everyone. There is never separate an individual required. Unless Krishna allows you, Yogamaya creates that scenario, you have to also welcome everybody else. But meeting Krishna, serving Krishna means complete. Prabhupada give this. Watering to the root means watering every branches, twig, leaves like this. So this is third chapter. You are?
Yeah.
So, what I got from this third chapter was that, basically, after the demigods and Shiva's associates cursed each other, then the chapter begins by saying that basically they lived some time separately and there was some discord between Lord Shiva and Daksha. And Daksha was going to perform another sacrifice called the Vajrapaya and the Brahaspati Seva sacrifice. And he invited everyone, he invited all the demigods, he invited everyone except Lord Shiva and Sati. He even invited the lesser demigods, the Gandharvas, the Kinnaras, the Ugaras, their servants and their wives, except for Shiva and Sati. And Prabhupada described something nice in there that I really liked, because the essence of this whole pastime is Vaishnava Parad. So Prabhupada, in one purport, he was saying that that Daksha, that all the demigods, they have the right to be at any fire sacrifice, and how fire sacrifice and yogi is actually meant for Lord Vishnu, and how Lord Vishnu also, he's satisfied when all the demigods are present. But Daksha's mentality was that I only have to please Lord Vishnu, I don't have to please anyone else. And actually this is important because this is actually the mentality that is quite common. This is like a Kanishta Adhikari mentality where I just worship Krishna, just appreciate the deity, I don't have to worship the Vaishnavas, I don't have to respect the Vaishnavas. And Prabhupada in that purport says, he quotes Krishna saying, "Ma bhakta puja vyadika," that better than my worship is the worship of my devotee, and the highest worship of me is the worship of my devotee. So this was Daksha's mentality. And Sati Devi, she was in her abode, she saw that all these demigods and all their wives were passing, and they were dressed very beautifully in nice cloth, and beautiful ornaments, and fine jewelry, makeup, they were dressed at their finest. And she also developed a desire to dress very beautifully and go, because this probably saying that this is actually normal, this is like the nature of a woman, they always desire to look beautiful, to dress very nicely. And so she developed that desire, and then she went to Mahadev, and she said that, oh husband, they're having one great sacrifice at my father's, and if you want to go, then we can go. And then she gave many reasons. She tried to convince Shiva that all the demigods are going, my sisters are going, my uncles are going, my aunts are going, my brother-in-laws, my relatives, and even people that aren't so related to Daksha are going, so why shouldn't I go? And she was explaining that how can I not be disturbed? How can I be undisturbed if everyone else is going to the house of my father besides me? And then she was praising Lord Shiva in many ways. Oh, your Nilakanta, you took the ocean from the churning of the, you took the poison from the churning of the milk ocean out of your kindness and you held it in your throat. And she's pleading with him, so please similarly be kind like this to me so that I can go to this festival. And she spoke to Lord Shiva that this material world is created by the external energy of Krishna. And you fully realize this, but I'm a poor woman and I don't realize this. And she mentioned that. And then when Shiva heard this, Shiva externally he smiled, but internally he remembered the harsh words and the malice conduct, the malicious conduct of Daksha. And Prabhupada writes that actually he felt pain, he felt sorrow, he felt unhappiness, he felt these things. And we always hear that liberated, very equipoised personality neither is disturbed by happiness or distress. So the question arises, well, Shiva is the greatest of Vaishnavas. He's a very powerful personality. How is it that he's disturbed by Daksha's remarks and by his experience with Daksha? And then Srila Prabhupada quotes Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur saying that Shiva's Atmaram, he's fully realized, he's fully satisfied within himself. But since he's the avatar of Tamagun, and also because in his Swarup there is the influence of Tamagun, then he also comes under the influence of this Tamagun. So actually he truly felt the pain of Daksha's insult. So then Lord Shiva replied that, well, we can go, but also Sati said we don't need an invitation to go. He's my father, we're very closely related, just like you don't need an invitation to go to your friend's house or relative's house. You don't need an invitation. And then Shiva said, well, we can go, but what is the point of going to some place where you'll be disrespected based on the bodily conception of it? Because it's interesting, Daksha, he criticized Lord Shiva for so many things. He said that, oh, you're spoiling the name of the fame of the governors of the universe, that you're polluting the path of gentle manners, Srila Prabhupada says, that you have monkey eyes. He saw such a severe criticism, and he said that you're dishonest, you're pretending to be honest, and you're disrespecting your father-in-law. You're married to my daughter, you should respect me. But it's funny, everything that Daksha, almost everything that he criticized or accused Shiva of doing, he himself was guilty of. Because Daksha, by his actions, by his harsh words, that we see that the demigods and Lord Shiva's associates curse each other. And he said that he was telling the audience, the demigods, that, oh, I'm saying these words because I'm pointing out how to have proper manners. But actually, our acharyas wrote that he was doing so out of envy and anger. So he was being pretentious. He was saying, Shiva, you're pretending to be honest, you're being pretentious. But actually, he was criticizing Lord Shiva out of the same thing he was accusing Lord Shiva of doing. And so Lord Shiva said that he gave a few explanations. He said that if a person's very proud of his austerity, of his wealth, of his learning, of his beauty, then he's blinded. And he said that persons that are very proud of those qualities, they can't appreciate great personalities. And then we always hear the example how when you have many zeros, the value is nothing. If you have many good qualities, if you're very learned, if you're very humble, scholarly, but you have no devotion to Krishna as devotees, then what's the value? So then Lord Shiva said that actually out of false ego, someone who's always under the control of false ego is under material distress. And a person that's under the false ego, he can't tolerate the opulences of a pure devotee, just like the demons can't tolerate the opulences of Lord Krishna. Just like you see Shishupal, he couldn't restrain himself when he heard all the opulences of Lord Krishna in the Rajasuya Yagya. So similarly, Daksha, he couldn't actually appreciate any of the glories of Lord Shiva because he had such a heavy contamination of false ego. And then Lord Shiva, actually Prabhupada in that chapter, he says that, what you said earlier, that he actually didn't even recognize that Daksha had appeared at the sacrificial arena, because he was always in meditation. And Prabhupada describes that Lord Shiva, he doesn't pay obeisances to the material body. He's always paying obeisances to the paramount of the Lord inside everyone's heart. And he said it doesn't necessarily mean that he was paying obeisances to the body. And Lord Shiva was telling Sati that, he quoted that verse, Satam Dishivam Vasudeva Shabitam Yadiyate Tatra Pramana Pavita Satoecha Tasmin Bhagavan Vasudeva Yadok Sajo Me Namasa Vidiyate. I'm always offering obeisances to Lord Krishna. I'm always offering obeisances to Vasudeva. And our Acharya described that Lord Shiva, he's on this Vasudeva platform. And this Vasudeva platform is Sudasattva. It's the platform of pure Krishna consciousness. It's above all material contamination. It's above modes of material nature. There's no influence of that there. And this Vasudeva platform is what manifests Vasudeva Krishna. And so, Srila Jiva Goswami, Prabhupada called Srila Jiva Goswami, something that I also liked. He's saying that, why do we say Astotara Sata Shri Srimad Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada? He was saying, what is the significance of Astotara Sata? Astotara Sata means 108, but it signifies a person that's on the Sudasattva platform, or on the Vasudeva platform. They're synonymous. And he describes that Vasudeva Sabditam means that that person on the Vasudeva's platform, he's everywhere and he's all-pervading, just like the sun. So our Acharya Srila Prabhupada, we worship his picture because he's on that Sudasattva platform. He can be everywhere. He's in the pictures. He's always ready to help us in whatever situation, even through other living entities, through pictures. He's always trying to remind us and help us in our Krishna consciousness. So this is a very important point about this Sudasattva Vasudeva conception. And Prabhupada describes that actually Lord Shiva, he was always offering obeisances to Krishna because he was seeing Krishna's all-pervading aspect. He was seeing Krishna in everything, Vasudeva Krishna in everything. And he was always offering obeisances. And so Prabhupada said that this is like a trance, but this trance wasn't controlled by him. This trance is controlled by Vasudeva, more specifically by his internal potency. So actually it's not Shiva's fault at all that he didn't pay obeisances to Daksha, because he's acting directly under the internal energy of Krishna. But this was the problem with Daksha. He was so intoxicated by his false ego, by his pride, by his position. Oh, I'm so great, I'm the chief progenitor. I have all these things, oh, I'm Shiva's father-in-law. He was so affected by this mundane perception that he couldn't respect Shiva. So finally Shiva told her that if you go, then the result would be good, that you'll be insulted to such a heavy degree that it'll be like death. That's that from the chapter.
That's good. That's very good. One point also you can add, that Srila Prabhupada emphasized what is the difference between Lord Krishna and Lord Shiva. I want everybody to repeat, please. There are big difference between Lord Krishna and Lord Shiva and us. Lord Krishna are eternally in internal potency, never ever comes in contact with material potency. This we should remember. Material potency means there is a birth, there is a death, there is a pain, there is a suffering, there is a illusion, hunger, thirst. This is material illusion, creates this. Beginning and spiritual potency means those things are never there. But apparently, Mother Jashoda also making Krishna cry. This illusion, Prabhupada writes in the purport, you remember one of the purport, that we should understand this is not suffering, this is enjoyment. Krishna enjoy crying. But when the jiva, conditioned soul, they cry in the material world, this is really pain. It is temporary, but it is real. It is not a false, it is real pain. When somebody loses their beloved, or accident, or disease, or death, these are real. This pain is real. Jivas doing this. Lord Krishna does not feel that pain, or eternal associate. What about Shiva? He is both. This is the most astonishing, that he can feel like us. Also he has a position, Mahabhagavat, that he does not feel like us. This is inconceivable. How is possible two are in one? That's why Shiva is neither Jiva nor Vishnu. He is in the middle, and Prabhupada writes very clearly that Lord Krishna and Shiva difference is there is a 5 illusion product called lamentation, illusion, attachment, hateful, and false ego. In Shiva, those 5 also they are. Illusion is what? Is his potency. You understand? Shiva's potency is illusion. And sometimes he comes under illusion. Vishnu never ever comes under illusion. Srila Prabhupada writes very clearly that Shiva's position we should never underestimate. We should always respect him. His position, but it will bewilder us. Why? Because his position is so unique. He can be under illusion and above illusion. How can it be? That's why he is Shiva Tattva. It is the speciality of Shiva that no other Tattva is like this. That's why it is very difficult. So when Daksha insulted him, did he feel the pain of insult? Yes. And he revealed this to his wife. But he is Mahabhagavat. That's also true. He doesn't have to feel, but he also feels. Both. This is very speciality. Now I am going to just read this, that what was the curse. So we must respect, we should, everybody please say, those who are following Vishnu Tattva Shiva. Srila Prabhupada clearly says, Advaita Acharya in chapter 6, incarnation of Sadashiva. And Gopeshwar Mahadev, they are Vishnu Tattva Shiva. Prabhupada put it in the purport, very nice, in the chapter 6, which will be today, if we have time, otherwise next week. That those Shiva Tattva Shiva, Vishnu Tattva Shiva, they are eternally Mahabhagavat, never comes under this material touch. But those who are Shambhu Tattva Shiva, those who are following Vishnu Tattva Shiva, they are Vaishnava, devotee. Those who are following Shambhu Tattva Shiva, be careful. You respect them from far. Why? Because this curse, I have to tell you what Bhrigu cursed. What did Bhrigu curse? This is not like a Bhrigu curse in some millennium, it has no effect now. It is affecting till end of Kali Yuga. Who are they? Who are the Shiva followers? Now don't start judging tomorrow if you see somebody worshipping Shiva. But we should be aware. What is the curse? He said all the Shiva followers will be atheists. Atheist doesn't mean who doesn't believe God. Atheist means one who thinks. Pashundi Bhava means Vishnu and Shiva are same. One who thinks Brahma and Vishnu are same, Krishna and Ganeshji are same, they are called atheists. Brahma Rudra Adi. This verse explaining that why they are called atheists, because this is the greatest offense. and their entire life search out will be disturbed. Now, what did he say? He says, Shiva followers, they will be unclean. Unclean means they will be drunk, smoking ganja like this, and they will be imitator, and they will worship, Prabhupada says, to who? Wine. Oh, there are a lot of. You don't have to see, they are there. And Prabhupada give even details what kind of wine they worship. 3 kinds of wine are there. Then he says there are 3 types of Asat Shastra follower. Means it's not a real Shastra, but it is false. But it will manifest as a scripture, Shastra, Veda, Asat Shastra. Mayavadam Asat Shastram Prachannam Buddha Uchate Mayava Vihita Devi Kalo Brahmana Murtina. Here it says, number 1, there are 3 types. Number 1, those who are Mayavadi, mostly are Shiva followers. And Bhrigu cursed them, that all Mayavadi will become your follower, or your follower will become Mayavadi. It's not a good curse, but it is happening. You will find them. So be careful. Next one, impersonalist, who attempt to establish that Supreme God is there, but he is impersonal. He has no form, he has no leg, no ear, no eye. Mahaprabhu told about Prakashananda Saraswati Thakur. Yes, I heard about him. He's cutting my parts of the senses, everything he's cutting off. He doesn't have a ear, cut off. He doesn't have a nose, he can't breathe, he cannot see. This is a big offender, these Mayavadis, impersonalist. And the number 3 are demons. Amongst the Shiva followers, big numbers are demons. You know any name? Ravana, Kumbhakarna. They are big, big demons. Lot of like this. So these curses are true, and this will take place. And the Nandishwar curse, also this is important. The materialistic religion are the curse of Nandishwar. 3 curses. One was, those who have a little intelligence, they will come to God. They will take any God. They have no power to think who is original Supreme God, who is not God. They will believe any god or demigod, same, and they will be interested to worship mostly demigod worshipper because they have little intelligence. Why they will do this? Because those gods will supply them an unlimited amount of sense enjoyment. Just because of sense enjoyment they will come to God. No other purpose they come to God. I am sick, my mother is sick, I cannot cure, a doctor cannot cure, I go to God so he can cure it. So why I am going to God? So he can do the job, supplying my necessary. These are material religion. This is Nandishwar cursed, and this is happening already, you can see. Majority of the world, they go to God for this. I need this, I need this, I need this, I need this. When I die, I want to make sure I go to a special place. Please, give me, give me, give me, give me, give me. What about service? No touch. I'll give $100, provided I'm going to getting how much? $1,000. Yeah. So there is some calculation. I'm coming every Sunday feast church and others, so that when I die, I'll be okay. What about serving? This is our eternal function. Our highest happiness in the loving service. So those who are Vaishnava serving under Prabhupada's guidance, they are most fortunate. We should always serve, serve, serve. This is our constitutional nature. Without serving, we don't have anything else to ask the Lord. Lord will automatically supply whatever servant need. We should serve. We should serve. So this is very important. We should know this. Okay. Text 4. Not text 4, chapter 4.
Before chapter 4, I was going to say the 1.3 I made in chapter 3 about all the insults Daksha made about Shiva, that really he was guilty of all those things. Actually, that applies to all of us. that generally if we become very disturbed by some fault in someone and we criticize, or even if we just become disturbed, it's often because that fault is reflecting something that we have in ourselves. That's not a nice point. So chapter 4 is Sati quits her body. And so after Lord Shiva had explained to her all the reasons why she shouldn't go to her father's house, he became silent. And she was undecided what she should do. And because of that, not being able to make up her mind what to do, she was being pushed back and forth and was walking up and down, back and forth in the room. And finally, she began to cry and looked at Lord Shiva as if to blast him with her eyes. But then she made up her mind that she would go, and she left very quickly in case Lord Shiva tried to stop her. Then immediately that she left, suddenly thousands of Lord Shiva's followers, of his disciples, followed her, headed by Maniman and Mada. And the word Anuchara is used in the verse, and it means followers. This word indicates, that word is used to mean followers, and it indicates those who immediately understand the purpose of their master. Because Lord Shiva told her, don't go. But they understood that now that she had chosen to go, he wouldn't want her to go alone. He didn't say this out loud, they just understood his heart's intention. And we also have to become like this, and our hearts one with our spiritual master's heart, able to anticipate and fulfill his desires. Then Lord Shiva's disciples, they arranged for Sati to be seated on a bull. They gave her a pet bird and other paraphernalia for her comfort, like a mirror, lotus flower canopy over her head. And they were singing and playing drums and went along towards Daksha's place like a royal procession. In this way, they reached Daksha's house and they entered the sacrificial arena. And there are some points made about, because then Sati saw the whole arrangement of the sacrifice, the clay pots, the animals, everything that was there. And the point was made that Prabhupada says in Popa, the Brahmins were chanting and some were arguing, but by arguing he meant just, discussing or debating about the different points of scripture, and that the whole atmosphere was surcharged with transcendental sound vibration. But in this age, that transcendental sound vibration is simplified by Lord Chaitanya into the transcendental vibration of the Hare Krishna mantra, because in this age, people are not expected to be highly educated in Vedic understanding, and generally people are slow, lazy, and unfortunate. So that's why the jagya for this age is the Hare Krishna mantra rather than the kind of sacrifices that Daksha was doing. And the point was also made that Sati saw lots of animals there that were meant for the sacrifice, but in these sacrifices, animals are not killed. They receive a new body. Often that's misunderstood. Everyone was afraid of Daksha, so no one welcomed Sati when she arrived except her mother and her sisters. She didn't accept any of the gifts and the seat that she was offered because her father ignored her, although she was his favorite child. Srila Prabhupada makes the point that the material bodily conception is so polluted that on a slight provocation, all love and affection are nullified and the intimacy is terminated. Spiritual relationships, on the other hand, are opposite. And they, in the very definition of prema is that the love is such that even when there is cause for it to break, it will not break. And not only it doesn't break, it goes higher.
Yes.
So Sati saw that there was no oblations for Lord Shiva, and there were so many insults. He didn't invite them, he didn't welcome her, he didn't give Lord Shiva his rightful share in the jagya, and she looked at Daksha so angrily that he appeared to burn in her vision. Actually, Sati came to the sacrifice out of her chastity to her husband, although it's in everything she said. Well, she came to see if he would be properly honored, but not really to see her relatives, although that was the reason she gave her husband. Lord Shiva's followers wanted to kill Daksha at that point, see how angry she was, but Sati stopped them. Then Sati in her anger began to condemn her father and persons like him who offer sacrifices to get material benefits instead of for the pleasure of Lord Vishnu, which is the real purpose of all sacrifices. And in the purport, Srila Prabhupada makes the point about using anger when Lord Vishnu or a Vaishnava is dishonored. For ourselves, we tolerate, but for them, we do. But if they are offended, we do not. And according to our capacity and spiritual advancement, different reactions are recommended, which Sati talks about later on. Then Sati's anger was not because she was offended or even because someone related to her as husband was offended. It wasn't because he was her husband in that sort of bodily relationship, but because Lord Shiva is a very elevated personality. And then she begins to describe his glories. She said he's the most beloved of all living entities. He has no rival. He's equal to all because he's a qualitative incarnation of the Supreme Lord. He's free from all enmity. And then she said that although Daksha is twice born, and therefore he should know better, because twice born means a higher class person who has taken initiation and has thoroughly studied the scriptures under the guidance of their spiritual master. They're supposed to be above the ordinary persons, able to discriminate between good and bad. Above that, there are those who see only the good in others, just like a bee sees only the nectar in the flower and disregards the color of the flower and the thorns. But even among such great souls who do more than discriminate between good and bad, they see only good. Even among those, the most elevated ones will see an insignificant good quality in someone and magnify it. And Lord Shiva is that sort of personality, and he's called Ashutosh, easily pleased. And there's this, Prabhupada gives the example of the Riktasura, who was being a total demon, and Lord Shiva just still took the good quality that, oh, but he's worshipping me, and gave him a benediction. Actually, one point about that story is that although it looks like sometimes Lord Shiva gives benedictions kind of recklessly, because of how Riktasura was using it to touch someone's head and destroy them, but he, because of his infinite wisdom, he can see how that follower will ultimately be benefited. And sure enough, Riktasura came across Krishna and was killed by Krishna's arrangement, was killed, and therefore he got liberated or benefited. Then Sati pointed out that Daksha was the exact opposite of this quality of Shiva, being able to see good where good is hardly even there. There's a little insignificant good he magnified. Daksha is the exact opposite of this. He found fault where none existed. Then a very important point was made in the verse there, in the verse in purport, that out of envy, materialistic persons criticize great souls. Therefore, for them, the association and the dust of the lotus feet of these great personalities has a detrimental effect. And the example is given of the scorching sun causes some vegetables and flowers to dry up, and others to flourish luxuriously. The result of a great soul's association is according to the capacity of the recipient. Those who offer great souls, those who offend great souls will dry up. Those who honor them will flourish. The great soul may forgive offenses, but Lord Krishna will not. And then the example is given of you can tolerate the scorching sun on your head, but you can't tolerate the scorching sun at your feet. Sati continued that she said Daksha committed the greatest offense to Lord Shiva by envying him. Lord Shiva's name, the two syllables, Shi and Va, purifies everyone of sinful activities. He's always pure. His name is auspicious to those who identify themselves as the body. By taking shelter of him, they will gradually come to understand that they're spirit, soul, not the body. And in the purport, Prabhupada says, auspicious life begins from this point, that the intelligent followers of Lord Shiva, auspicious life begins from this point where a person understands, I'm not the body, I'm spirit, soul. But intelligent followers of Lord Shiva will go beyond this point, and they'll begin to understand their relationship with the Supreme Lord, that one has to go further than just knowing I'm not the body. But those who are not intelligent enough stop at this point of Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman, and they don't develop Sambandha Gyan, their loving relationship with Krishna. Then Sati went on with more glories of Lord Shiva. Said, for the common man, he fulfills all desires. For higher personalities, who are seeking Brahmananda, because they're meditating on his feet, he will bless them. Great personalities like Lord Brahma honor him by accepting the flowers from his feet, despite the seemingly inauspicious qualities that he has, like he associates with demons in the crematorium. He has scattered locks, skulls, ashes, which these are all things that was pointing out about him. Even Lord Brahma accepted the flowers from his lotus feet. And then she recommended the proper reaction to hearing offenses of great souls. That you block your ears and run away if you don't have the power to punish them. You cut their tongue out if you have the power to do that, but then you kill yourself afterwards. And then she decided that therefore, because her body is connected with his, that she got her body from him, that she's going to give it up, because the best thing to do when you take poison is to throw up. And that's another point she made, was that it's better to perform one's own occupational duty than to criticize great souls. That great souls may disregard rules and regulations, but for ordinary men who walk on the earth cannot. And then in the Vedas, there's 2 kinds of sacrifices. One for those who are attached and one for those who are detached, and above that is transcendence. And then after she finished talking, she sat down in a lotus position and began to first meditating, completely absorbing her mind on the lotus feet of Lord Shiva. Then she rose, took the light air and caused it to rise up. And then meditating on the fiery element, she caused her body to burst into flames. At that point, there was a great uproar in the assembly, and everyone began to say, oh, the chaste Sati has destroyed herself because of her father's neglect, and he did nothing whatsoever to stop her. And the point is made somewhere that her body is made of, she thought she is an eternal being, but her bodies are made of material elements and they come and go. Oh, and after that,
she's a spiritual being.
What did I say?
She is eternal.
She's eternal.
She is spiritual being, but has a material body.
Yes.
Even though she is Krishna's energy.
Okay. And then at that point, Lord Shiva's followers became very angry, and they were moving forward to kill Daksha, seeing the danger, chanting mantras and offered oblations, and created these Ribu demigods who then checked all of Lord Shiva's followers. And that was the end of the chapter.
He chased them away. Then Narad Muni comes. He's not here, Damodar Prabhu. He missed, supposed to speak. We'll make it, we have 5 minutes.
We have 2 minutes.
2 minutes, that's not good. Let's see. Then Narad Muni was flying and just arrived in Shiva Loka and just told, oh, by the way, your wife just killed herself. It's a good news. And then Lord Shiva inquired, and Narad Muni gave the whole explanation how Sati killed herself, not being welcomed by her father. Now question is, can you perform a jagna in this world with disrespecting Lord Shiva and Parvati? No. This is his kingdom. To establish those points, very essential. You could not. For pleasing Vishnu, we also offer ahuti, oblation, to the pure devotees. You sit down next to the priest, see what mantra they are chanting. Adara paricharjayam mad bhakti abhinandana, abhivandana. Adara paricharjayam. If you have a love for me, Krishna says, then you mad bhakta puja bhadika, then you will worship my devotee more. Provided you have love for God. Then possible. So that time Lord Shiva, he understood the whole episode, and then he immediately pulled one hair. He got very angry, and then he created a giant black body called Virabhadra. It was very quickly in 1 minute, at least few points we should learn from this chapter 5. One was that Narad Muni, when Sati passed away, this news, why Narad Muni was excited. This is very important. Because to establish Maya Devi's position, and to establish Lord Shiva's position and their eternal relationship. Is it possible Sati and Shiva can be separated? Everybody, no, never. She is Shiva Shakti, but then she died. No, material body can separate. But Sati, how did she die? She sat down, meditation on the lotus feet of Lord Shiva. And she entered into that. The physical body burned into fire, not herself. She did not actually, it appears like she burned into the fire. But she entered into the lotus feet of the Shiva. She is eternal Shakti of Shiva. But material body that she got from her father is finished. The relationship is finished, body finished, everything finished. But spiritual Shakti, she is there with Shiva, never separated. Impossible Shiva to be separated from her Shakti. Gaur Pramanande, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Vancha Kalpatarubhasya Kipasya Pavanim Vaishnavi Namo Namo. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. You going to chant here? Where is chanting here?